welcome to Pastoral Care Committee. So we have 4 people here today who are going to talk mostly about how we're faring. This is the last question I have. Is there anything that you guys think we could be doing for the people who are listening to this that would make things better? I mean, we pray for them, we think about them, we call them. Are we missing something? Or is it above our pay grade? Do some people actually maybe need to talk to somebody who is a psychologist or a social worker or somebody who, like I know that's Margie's profession, but or are we?
Well, we need to hear from people too, to find out, where we could, how we could best help them. I mean, we're certainly available. We're making ourselves available, and we need to, to hear, and we're willing to listen and to help them as much as we can.
And I think we're doing a fairly good job of it, I hope, but I think we need to be real with one another. It's like this is really, really tough for some people. And some people, as I said in our committee thing that a few months ago that started all of this, it's just like some people really don't give a hoot right now about 521. They're thinking about missing their grandchildren or where their paycheck is coming from or they can't travel or whatever. Like that's where some people are at. And so I think the more we can be okay with interacting with people at that level, and obviously it takes people, kind of letting you know that, but I mean, I had a friend who's been a Christian her whole life said, does God know what's going on? It's like, well, okay, I mean, maybe you're not supposed to say that question, but a whole lot of people probably are at some level of just saying, like, where really is God in all of this? We say all this nice stuff about God, but really, you might want to kick him in the shins because it's, it's hard. And it's like, can we be that real with one another? I hope so. Because I think that's the Spirit of God actually working through us. And we have all these kind of lofty notions sometimes about who God is and all of that and what God can handle or not. But anyway, that's my hope is that, and maybe I'm the only one who feels that, but I'm guessing not.
No, you're not the only one.
So if anybody, wants to kick God in the shins, let me know. I'm glad to hear you out. I'm serious about that. Or Michael's over there nodding his head. He's good at that. It's just, I feel like I can just say, what's going on? I'm tired of this. We've done a really good thing in Saskatchewan all these months, but that may turn on us any old time. Yeah. And so we're tired. A lot of people are just tired of being good with all this, So that's my hope, is that we can just be real about all of this, whatever that means for people.
Well, I know, Margie, very often you said, where is God in this? And that has become a little revolving thing in my brain, frankly. I will stop and think, what would Margie say? Margie would say, where is God in this? Yeah. And I stop and I think, okay, God is in this with us. We're not alone. However, sometimes you feel like you are.
Yeah. It's hard, as we've all said. It's hard for a lot of people, and particularly, I find that some people are very proud. They don't want to acknowledge that they're struggling, whether it's financially struggling or struggling out of loneliness or feelings of despair. They don't want to admit that if they've got family, that family are not checking in on them. That's a source of pride. We don't want to acknowledge that. You and I were talking recently about someone who's lost a family member and whose daughter just doesn't want to speak to them. There's a lot of people out there that are estranged from family members and don't have the support that we would assume that they have. People that are in nursing homes and care homes, no matter how good or loving those facilities are, there's still people who are suddenly cut off from activities and social interactions within the facility and outside that they were used to. But we can't reach people or touch people if we don't know, if we don't have a starting point, a launching point to hear that somebody is hurting or that somebody needs help. And as clergy, we're often targeted with, well, you didn't call so-and-so. Well, I didn't know that so-and-so had just had an operation or wasn't feeling well. If people don't tell us that, we can't reach out. And I think it's so important. The one thing we can do right now is talk to each other. We can use that little old-fashioned machine called a telephone that some of us have in their house still. We can use that. We can use our cell phones. We can reach out. Michael doesn't have a telephone. He's too young. Probably doesn't remember what they look like. But I think that as much as we can communicate, that's the most important thing we can do right now. And whether it's even in a written communication, just to be able to reach and touch as many people as we possibly can, and hopefully they'll reach back. That you just, hopefully you can make a connection and that they'll come back.
Well, I think that's really all we wanted to say today, and really all we wanted to talk about. If anyone has any ideas or suggestions about the kinds of things you would like to hear from the Pastoral Care Committee, you can let us know. Our names are, well, I don't know if people will have them, but you can always get a hold of the clergy in your parish. Those are usually typed out on the missive that comes from Winna every week, and talk to one of them and say, I want someone on the pastoral care team to talk to me. Can you get me in touch with someone? So we would be happy to do that. And I thank you for listening. We may have gone on a little bit longer than I thought we would, but there's some wisdom in this group that it is important, I think, for me to hear, and probably for others.